9:43 a.m. June 4th. So these guys have a terrorist conspiracy. It involves large-scale hand tying, witness tampering, large-scale bribery, um, and they're using large-scale bribery and witness tampering and blackmail to intimidate and coerce civilian populations, as well as for intimidation and coercion to influence the policy of a government. Intimidation or coercion to influence the policy of government, which is terrorism. So these guys doing large-scale bribery and blackmail, that's terrorism. Now these guys carrying out steps for the terrorist conspiracy, such as aiding in bribery or aiding in some form of financing, like stealing my ideas and selling them. Those people are carrying out steps in a terrorist conspiracy that may be considered terrorism or just a component of terrorist conspiracy. So how are they not in prison? These guys running slander campaigns to aid in discrediting me, to aid them in stealing money and property that's mine. That's part of the terrorist conspiracy. So these guys running slander campaigns for terrorists, for a terrorist conspiracy to aid in terrorist financing. I don't know if that's considered terrorism, but it may be considered terrorist conspiracy. But also the way they do it is also maybe considered terrorism, since they try to use their slander campaigns and make examples out of people to intimidate and coerce civilian populations. So that's terrorism too. But all these people playing a role or function in a terrorist conspiracy. Some of them are terrorists, and then some may just be considered involved in the terrorist conspiracy and carrying out steps in the terrorist conspiracy, so they may be involved with terrorist conspiracy. So that's key. Also, there's also other weird elements about this. There's also people being allowed to attempt murder on people in America out of jealousy. Straight up jealousy. And then they're even being allowed to run dehumanization campaigns and slander campaigns to cover up the real reasons, which was jealousy and greed, and for attempted murder and all these crimes, as well as being allowed to run dehumanization and slander campaigns to look justified. But yeah, some kid tried to murder me just strictly out of jealousy, and then they actually let this guy run a slander and dehumanization campaign to try to look justified in trying to murder me out of jealousy, and amongst many other things. So that's a key piece of this too. But yeah, I look at all the components of terrorist conspiracy and their terrorism, and these people carrying out steps involved with the terrorist conspiracy, such as betting manipulation. That's part of terrorist financing, so those people are involved with terrorist conspiracy too. But also the fact that the way they manipulate bets may be considered terrorism. So I'd look into all of it. But let's get these guys behind bars that are threats to mankind. They have no respect for human life. They finance sexual slavery, Nazism, pseudoscience, murder, crime, abuse, violence. They're more abusive than fathers that rape their daughters. They're more abusive than fathers that rape their daughters and try to make them look psychotic. They are more abusive than fathers that rape their daughters than try to make them look psychotic. Then people figure out they're not psychotic. And then they try to frame them and murder them and hire terrorists to murder them or hold them hostage for almost 7 years now. So let's wake up now. Yeah, and I'm not joking. And no, I'm not an actor. This is real talk. But yeah, I would find out everyone playing a role in this terrorist agenda, this global terrorist agenda, and all these people carrying out steps, at least in this terrorist conspiracy, and maybe considered terrorism, or at least it may be terrorist conspiracy. Let's get them behind bars. They're unfit to be in society. They have no respect for human life. They are running genital mutilation rings. They are running abuse rings. They are running oppression rings, dehumanization campaigns, slander campaigns, illegal weapons manufacturing and distribution. They're putting weapons in the hands of rapists, pedophiles, and terrorists, murderers, sexual slavery practitioners, human rights and civil rights violators. Thugs and drug addicts, heroin addicts, crack addicts, drug dealers. Let's get them behind bars.